Now we step into the washing of our hands, something called Netilat Yadayim. Netilat Yadayim literally means the raising up of the hands. And that's exactly what we need to relate to, that our hands are, so to speak, in a sense, rising up, as if they're like something growing. And we water them with the water that we pour on them as a cleansing and as an invitation to grow even more. This is an experience which is worth taking a moment to appreciate, because what's happening now is you're actually connecting to Hashem as the life-giving force that's going to invest you with the ability to act, your hands being the limb that is the most extended and the most active of your limbs, in which you're able to do, and you're connecting it to Hashem and His creative power and His life-giving force reflected through water as He who desires your growth and your blossoming. So that's an orientation to take, because now when you raise up your hands and you cleanse them, you're actually now able to rely on your having Hashem behind you, desiring you and encouraging you to grow. You know, the word itself of the washing here is something which is also relevant to us, because we're sort of purifying ourselves and getting rid of anything which might stand in the way of our being able to receive that blessing and to act in the world in the most direct and pure way. So then, when we've done that, we move to now declare, Baruch Atah Hashem, that you are blessed. Baruch, reflecting actually the word for brecha, which is a pool. You are a resource for me. You are the pool of life which is flowing down into me. That's the first time we use that word during the day. Then we move on to another blessing. Baruch Atah Hashem, Asher Yatzar et Adam b'chokhmah. This beautiful blessing actually celebrates the fact that we are living as a synergy in our bodies between so many different parts that are interacting with each other and are able to connect, to communicate, to create a community that's within us that is able to function with health because of that. And in that same way, we celebrate the fact that we're able to have that kind of synergy with our environment. Nikavim is referring to the fact that we breathe in and we breathe out. We have these orifices that enable us to breathe in the air and breathe it out. And this is a time also to contemplate the fact that you're actually breathing in what for the vegetable kingdom is poisons, and breathing out what for them is the life-giving carbon dioxide, because that is actually a way for you to connect to the fact that all of life is built on chokhmah, on wisdom, and that's what we reflect in this blessing. Ha-chacham, the rabbis say, is someone who learns from everyone. That kind of openness is what we're actually experiencing both in our bodies and the interconnection between its different organs and ourselves in the context of our environment. So that statement is built also on the verse in the Torah which says, Vayitzer Hashem Elokim, that Hashem was Yotzer man. What does that mean? He was Yotzer Adam. That word means he created, but it specifically is talking about boundaries. A Meitzar is a boundary. That boundedness is actually something which we're reflecting on as having the channeling power to channel well powers that were given in a way in which they'll be directed on the one hand, and on the other hand, be b'chokhmah, be interactive with all that is around us. That's healthful living. Now, from there, we move into Elohai Neshama Shenatata Bi. Suddenly we're talking about God as personal, as being my God. Neshama Shenatata Bi. You made this soul come into me. You placed it into me. You created it and you made it and you breathed it into me. This is all very intimate, very personal. very, very much about my specific life and perspective. And this is a very important teaching for us to begin the day with. Our neshama, breathed into us, figuratively by God, is a way of describing that we have a consciousness and an awareness and a power of freedom which is divine, which He has shared with us. That sharing creates something of a paradox, for He is one and all, and yet He's able to give us a part in that. But there are no parts in the one, and yet He's sharing neshama with us. And here we have a moment in which we can reflect on our being in our specific and individual appreciation of life, a particular reflection and expression of this all of life. And I say that here because this is when we also celebrate the fact that we've, in a sense, died during the night when our bodies have been, so to speak, given up. And now our personal and specific soul is being returned to us. Yeah, so that's the same thing as what's going to happen to us at the end of life. And for us to know now that as our part is part of the whole, that itself is a reflection of the eternity of our individual neshama that will leave our bodies and return to our bodies and whatever kind of body we will then come back in, but maintain the specificity of this personal life. And so in this triad, we move from being watered from above to be able to act, knowing that Hashem cleanses us and gives us new life. We've been expressive of the synergy with which we live in cooperation with our environment and within ourselves. And then finally to celebrate the specificity of the soul and the reality and the consciousness which we've been given as something which is eternal and a part of the entirety of this greatness. In this upcoming meditation, we're going to initiate the day with a beautiful shift, which is invited through the washing of our hands, celebrating Hashem's creating us with wisdom, and knowing that He has breathed a unique soul into our bodies. You can do this meditation right after Modeh Ani, or you can do it at some other time in the day so that tomorrow morning you'll be able to recall the sensations you experience in this meditation and apply them to the actual practice in the beginning of the morning. So sit comfortably. If you are still in bed, you might want to listen to this sitting up in bed or even lying down. If you're at some other point during the day, both those options are available to you. Take a deep breath in through your nostrils as you let that air fill your chest and you notice your stomach expand. And now release that breath slowly through pursed lips. Take another breath in. Sense the vitality that enters you. Again, watch your stomach expand as your lungs fill. And release, this time with all the tension that's in your body. Allow your back to feel comfortable, your legs to relax from any tension, the calves of your legs down to your feet, all feeling openness, pleasantness, kind of joyousness in the first awakening of the day. Allow that sensation to come up through your calves, your thighs, up into your stomach. Take a moment to watch it rise and fall. Now let that calm, pleasant, almost joyous relaxation come up through your chest, bringing a sort of serenity to your shoulders as they relax. Relaxation to your jaw, to your entire face, between your eyes, as if a space is opening wider between your eyebrows. And now we're going to experience how Hashem sends His beautiful and kind sharing of existence and life right to you. I want to invite you to turn your palms so that they face upward. You might lift them a bit off your body. And for us to take these moments to breathe, this time towards your heart, as if you're breathing in and out of your heart. As you slow your breath, counting to 6 as you breathe in. Counting to 6 as you breathe out. Breathing in again to the count of 6. And breathing out again to the count of 6. There's a beautiful ray of Hashem's kindness coming down towards you now, almost like raindrops of light coming down towards you. I want to invite you to turn your face somewhat upwards to receive this glow and sense how it's coming down into your upward turned palms. These are droplets of life, of purity, an invitation to be watered with a new life force, as if you're the first human being still in the ground, receiving now the waters which will mix with ground to make it possible for you to become the living creature that you will be this day. We're starting at the very beginning. Receive that and allow your fingers now to point upwards as you raise your hands in receiving this blessing, almost as if you're blossoming out of the ground. Sense the energy that fills your palms and through that is drawn into your entire body. Sense as you breathe in how you interact with the air around you. Breathing in the warm air that feeds your life. Exhaling that which has been used by you and can now be used by the vegetable kingdom around you. Breathe in again, sensing how your body fills with air and how the different organs within you are in beautiful interaction with one another. Your heart beating, your lungs imbibing, your stomach digesting, your kidneys filtering, and each performing its function while it is supported by the others and supports them. Just as within you, so within the world that surrounds you. Sense as if a light is now shining down towards you of love and care and compassion and desire for righteousness. A formed soul now coming down to be breathed in by you. For your next breath, sense as if your whole body is filling with light. Elohai neshama shenatata bi Torai, pure soul. Know that this soul is the eternal reality of you, experiencing now through body, later to experience without body, always to be the unique and particular contribution which you have been created to add to Hashem's universe. Enjoy its goodness. Let it be what speaks through you today and every day. Appreciate the enlivening and the guiding power that it has. Now, as we complete this triad of blessings, know that you have been watered from above to grow, formed with wisdom, to be in harmony within and without, and been awarded the soul, which is the source of all of your conscious and present knowing, the experience of you. Blessings for a beautiful day.